So I think Humble is a company that a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with, or maybe just straight up hate at this point. For one, a lot of people love Humble's vision as a Web 3.0 company and their vision of the future. But unfortunately, the stock has been anything but kind to investors, and a lot of investors have started to question if Humble is spreading themselves too thin when it comes to their product line. And even though Humble is doing a mobile wallet, digital payments, NFTs, a Web3 search engine, it might seem to some that they've kind of been all over the place lately. However, from my perspective, even though it seems like they might be going down the route of jack of all trades, master of none, I think that every pursuit, purchase, and product that they've taken a part in over the last year all fit under the umbrella of Web 3.0, which at the end of the day, Humble has labeled themselves as just that, a Web 3.0 company. So personally, I don't really see any issue with Humble dipping into a bunch of different sub-industries here, because they're all under the central core idea of Web 3.0. So despite how you see Humble in its current state right now, I think that they've made some extremely impressive progress with the product so far, and with their stock price seemingly making new lows every week, I understand the feeling of wanting to give up hope with this company. But like I've said before, Humble is a speculative company, and yet, at the same time, and because of this, they are a high-risk, high-reward investment. And after all, as the great Warren Buffett once said, any company that doesn't have at least a little risk is not worth investing in, so quit being a little bitch and add it to your portfolio. It could honestly take years before we see Humble's stock make some insane moves upward. Plus, if Humble can manage to get listed to the NASDAQ, which they are in the process of doing, I think that'll be a huge milestone for them and will no doubt help their stock price. But regardless, I'll still continue to keep you guys up to date with this company because they're still one of my holdings, and I think it's been pretty interesting to follow along with them and see all the progress that they've made. So let's get into the most recent update. They've added some new features to the Humble wallet. Essentially, the biggest update here is that users will now be able to verify different digital assets. So I'm going to play a clip for you guys that Humble officially released, and then I'll be going into a bit. Plus, I'll also be getting into some of the things that I think Humble needs to do as a company if they want to continue to grow, as well as some of my more honest thoughts about them. But first, let's start the video.
Hello, I want to provide you guys with an update on the latest version of Humble Wallet that now includes the ability to view verified assets. As wallet-to-wallet commerce becomes more prevalent, the need to verify assets and be able to look up their history on the registry becomes all that much more important. In our newest build, we've added the ability to verify NFTs, which could be any form of asset, whether it be a certificate of authenticity or a video or an image or a music video. We've also added the ability to be able to double tap on an image, which brings it to full screen and enables a user to zoom in and view the finest details of each image. As we see the industry changing to NFTs and direct wallet-to-wallet commerce, we wanted to enhance the ability to view music videos and also play music within the Humble wallet. With this ability, if you double tap on a video, you get full controls over it. You now have the ability to put it in full screen mode, thus enabling you to have a very immersive experience and enjoy full quality audio and video. As we continue to see wallet-to-wallet commerce, digital assets will require the ability to encrypt these files, and Humble Wallet is paving the way to be able to do that very quickly with immersive features and feature-rich content. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy this update.
So pretty cool, right? Humble has essentially taken their NFT platform up to a more professional level by allowing the end user to actually verify their NFTs, as well as actually being able to view the NFTs in finer detail with a zoom feature, as well as the ability to listen to and watch videos with their built-in media player. However, I think one thing to note here, and is probably something that a lot of people might be thinking right now, is ever since the digital artist Beeple took over the NFT scene, NFTs saw a massive spike in interest and purchases like never before back in early 2021. And then the overall interest in NFTs started to plummet, which brings us to where we are today. However, I don't really think this is a bad thing that people have lost interest in NFTs overall, because just like periods in the stock market and the housing market, there's always going to be ups and downs. Just because NFTs aren't as popular as they were back in 2021 doesn't mean that they're going away. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that over the next few years, there's gonna come a point where they start to become really popular again. So the fact that HUMBL is continuing to invest in their NFT platform instead of focusing attention away from it, I think is a really good sign. It just means that they're confident in their product and that their platform will be that much better when NFT purchases start to pick up again. And of course, if there are any people interested in purchasing NFTs, there literally couldn't be a better time than right now, with a lot of NFTs recently going down in price from their ridiculously insane prices that we saw back in 2021. Of course, there's always going to be those 5- and 6-figure NFT prices from famous artists, but all I'm saying is, just like the stock and crypto markets, the best time to buy isn't when everyone's on the hype train riding the climbing prices to the moon. The best time to buy is when it seems that everyone has lost interest, prices plummet, and the general sentiment is either fear or indifference. So now, what exactly does HUMBL need to do if they want to keep successfully growing their business? Well, aside from the obvious of continuing to improve their products, I think HUMBL needs to focus on 2 things. The first being listed to the NASDAQ. So of course, like I mentioned, they're actually in the process of doing this right now. And I think it's also important to note here that getting listed to the NASDAQ won't magically make HUMBL's stock price skyrocket. But what it will do is give HUMBL more exposure to the broader market and other investors that otherwise would have never even known about HUMBL. But because the NASDAQ is a weighted index after all, I think it's fair to say that if HUMBL was included in it, it would definitely help its stock price. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see until that day arrives. And lastly, I think that something HUMBL really needs to focus on right now is advertising. I don't know about you, but I haven't seen a single ad from HUMBL at all. If HUMBL wants to grow, I think allocating a little of their budget to advertising could prove to be really useful for them. Of course, right now, it's not like HUMBL has SoFi money to throw around to advertise in huge stadiums or anything, but I think at this point, even something like internet ads could help. Because I think one of HUMBL's biggest problems right now is that not enough people know about them, aside from small circles of investors. So as HUMBL continues to grow as a business, I think it would be really cool to finally start seeing some ads from them, so other people can finally start to discover them and understand more about what exactly HUMBL does. But overall, my sentiments around HUMBL haven't changed. I'm still invested in this company, and I haven't sold a single share. And as with many great things, I think the stock is just going to take some patience before we really see what it's made of. But until then, as always, I'll be sure to keep everyone updated on this company and my honest thoughts. And I think I'd like to wrap up the video here. Thanks as always, and I'll catch you next time.